pressing matter that needs our joint attention. I have not been entirely honest with you with regards to the island known as Fetch Rock. You were right to suspect there is a lighthouse based out at sea, but I could not tell you of it. A mild deception. There is often bad talk of the lighthouse in this town. I did not wish for you to encounter the superstitious nature of some of the townspeople. They can be most unpleasant when Fetch Rock enters conversation.
Not sure.
Some believe the island to be cursed or even haunted.
Alright.
Even I now suspect there is more to that island than meets the eye.
I'm not sure this will be more entertaining, Kaori.
The lighthouse was built by myself and men from the town back in 1890 to prevent the loss of life on the Whipside Sands. Over these last 22 years, that lighthouse has claimed more lives and caused more misery than can possibly be imagined by an untroubled man such as yourself.
I think they sped it up in post. Be
I
positive.
fear that
I don't
tonight
wanna
has
go
brought
through
the
this
worst news of
conversation.
all. A ship, the Rebos, passed by Fetch Rock this very night and observed that the lamp of the lighthouse was not lit. No sign of life nor light was visible from the vessel. The fog is thick tonight and carries an unnatural chill. The lighthouse keepers would never allow such misadventure as to not warn the passing ships.
I think he's one of those people who inserts the beats into his own lines and sticks with them. Whereas in this he actually had some sort of direction, or I don't know. Who mans this?
Oliver
mysterious
Drake,
lighthouse?
James Wolfe, and Robert Shaw are currently employed to man the lighthouse. All three men are of sound mind and spirit. You must travel to the lighthouse. A small boat has been prepared. You will need a few items from your cottage, which I am sure will be of use. Search around for them. Once you have them, you will be able to board the vessel and set off on your voyage. You get me wrong, young Parker. I only wish to keep our mission secret. There are those in this town who suspect the worst. They must not know of this latest development. Keep to the shadows and let no one interrupt your business. Now go. The fate of 3 men may be in your hands.
Oh, we already looked at those particular boxes. Oh, crib. Why is there a comma here? Why, Bokes? No, I don't want to look at the boxes again. Okay, so you'd think... Here is boat. So you can tell boat does nothing? I do not even get it. That's not right. Or I just have to look at everything before the game will let me progress.
What's the point? Those sands are always changing.
I'm lost.
No one should be put on.
Quiet. Okay, so what we have to do next, this is very intuitive, is we have to read the diary. April 28th, midnight. Do men want me to read? I can't. Someone write something in the chat. Okay. Twitch app is failing me. Sorry if I'm not doing anything, it's because Twitch is... Anyway, the journey from Todd Day was painless and dull. Painless, comma, and dull. Already I miss the scent of heather and prickle of gorse. This Cornish landscape can never compare, being soft and rounded, like the limbs of the newborn. Beep boop. Scotland's Western Isles offered me so much more. My phone freaks out. The landscape fallen like a corpse out Lent, I will return to Tade. Once my work here is done, that can never be too soon. Work? This is not work, just another humiliation. The Academy punishes me for my dreams of ghosts. Perhaps my father is behind this new trial. I smell his envious mind as work. The coastline has been mapped several times over. Why would they send me here as a qualified photographer? I am not prepared to devote time to such a superfluous commission. I've already viewed the maps of this area and studied them during my journey. What was weird? Oh, just the Boaks commas? Anyway, one corner of the British Isles to the other. Train window allowed only the most scant view of our fair land, but it was of little interest to me. My arrival at Plymouth was prompt, and under the cover of darkness I was collected by a salty fellow by the name of Spivey. Stop yelling into the microphone, because I forget I'm mic'd. I did not expect a fanfare, but a pony and a fish cart as transport was surprisingly basic. I am sure the gentleman who commissioned my presence here would not travel in such a fashion. I suspect it was intended as another insult, so I went to great pains to hide my feelings. Perhaps when I meet with this man tomorrow, I shall learn whether he went to insult me. What was his name? I have the letter here somewhere. Ah, yes, a Mr. Robert de Marion. He is the local doctor, and I believe he is highly regarded in these parts. I only know this from Spivey, my traveling companion from Plymouth, so I cannot take such information at face value. I shall take a brief stroll to the harbour wall before retiring to bed. Oh, the strangest thing. A blink in the dark, I was standing on the harbour wall, staring out to sea, and there it was. The most distant light, orb activity, shining in into the gloom. A lighthouse. Most definitely a lighthouse. This is most strange. Why? Well, my friend, because there is no such lighthouse listed on the maps. Ha! Perhaps my work here is not as worthless as I suspected. I shall inquire about the lighthouse tomorrow. Is it common to put lighthouses on maps? I don't know. I don't live by the coast. I have finished unpacking my case and equipment, and this hut barely has 4 walls and a roof, is not displeasing to the eye, but is in need of some care and attention. Hope the roof holds for the duration of my stay. A note was waiting for me on the bed. It seems Mr. de Marion would like me to join him for breakfast in the morning. That could be a most interesting meeting. Until then I shall sleep. My journey has exhausted my mind. Outside I can hear the lapping of clear Cornish waters against the harbour walls. It lulls me to sleep. Is that an ellipse and a period? Weird. More diaries. Damn and blast. Do you guys want me to keep reading, or would you rather just read yourselves? Because this font is a little weird. Rats with wings. I hope this game doesn't require me to care about the story. And then, as if by magic, we end the diary and find ourselves in a flashback. And if you click on the birds, if you click on this, I think it takes you back to current time. Right, this is very well foreshadowed and excellent game design. Where? Ah! Of course, absolutely none of this stuff is actually pick-upable. You just have to look at it. Ah. Devonshire fudge. The fisherman's arms is rife with gossip even. The men chatter like the women folk of this town. Whatever is the world coming to? Exclamation point. Then, of course, there is the nature of their prittle prattle. The island! This will never do. I'm sorry. Corpsing away. I must put a stop to the speculation. The fools know nothing of the events unfolding out there on Fetch Rock. Dun dun dun. The latest item, a square card-like object, is made from the most curious material. It can bend but not break. It can be cut or scratched with the most blunt of instruments. It is remarkable. I have seen similar substances made from tree sap and molten metals, but never this smooth or so black. It is a small silvery metal disc placed in the back, which turns when a coin is inserted into it. On the front, the words Haddon Industries can be read quite clearly. Remarkable. I have searched the business directories and can find no mention of this company. Mutes the mic to cough. Their title is quite grand, yet I can find no mention. Thank you for reiterating that. I shall search the archives on my next visit to London. Haddon Industries. They may have the answer to the happenings at the Rock. At last, I have a lead. But they have Bakelite and... give me... And yes, the first thing you can pick up is a floppy disk. In 1912, because mysteries, right? The cat got bored and left. I have discovered a small cavern at the base of the outer steps leading up to the lighthouse. The summer sea winds carried large waves inland, and the sandbanks were washed away. This is how I discovered my find. I have yet to venture into the gaping gash, as I had no suitable lighting on my person. I was also wary that Drake, Wolf, or Shaw may see me from the tower. I could see movement inside the crew room and did not wish to be discovered. Where could this tunnel lead? It intrigues me so. The tunnel was dark, led into Fetch Rock. Read more than a few words without dying, for God's sake. It was at this point I discovered a rockfall prevents further exploration. Why? Damnation! Exclamation point. So near, but so far. I honestly believe that the tunnel held the answer to my questions. I will have to discover an alternate source of inquiry. Oh, look, pictures! Activity. I returned to the rockfall to photograph the gash. Digging in my bag for my camera, I dropped the storm lantern, which lit my way. It was at that moment that I heard it. A pulse, period. Like the devil's heartbeat itself. While I stood there in the chilling darkness, my head began to spin. The throbbing pulse began to change. New sound filled my head. It was a song, a rhyme. The moon is shining as bright as day. No. Over and over and over again. I could not locate the source of the sound. I groped about the cave walls. That was when markings appeared from out of the gloom. The walls were patterned with regular and uniform decoration. I throbbed in time with the sound, and I felt